Hello, welcome to Christy TV, the Straight Talking YouTube channel. Today I'm looking to pay back what you might ask. Well, pay back the fortunes I have. What fortunes? How did I get them? Well, let me explain to you. My life was on the brink of disaster, yeah. I stand to you today as a homeowner. I stand to you today as an husband, a father, a grandfather and a businessman. Yeah, and I have travelled over 30 countries in the world. I've had the most wonderful life, but it was on the brink of disaster, as I said. But what saved it? Yes, only two things. One person, my father, and the wonderful game of golf. And it's here in this wonderful game of golf where I want to give back. So please listen to my story, how golf transformed my life and how I know with some help out there I can transform thousands, countless of thousands of lives of young youths, male and female and more alike. My love for golf came when I was a 6-year-old. I was pulling my grandfather's trolley. My grandfather, an ex-professional boxer, an English Romany gypsy, quite consistent in that field of work for gypsies. But so that he turned to golf, and I was a 6-year-old pulling his trolley. And what would I do? I just watch and watch and watch, and I allowed him to get up a little bit, let him walk on, and I would get the ball out with my little hands and give it a clump with the man's club, and all of a sudden the ball would soon be running 60, 70 yards past their legs. They were wondering where it came from, and my grandfather quickly discovered I was doing it with quite regularity, and that's where it started, and it continued. By the time I was around 8 years old, he got me my first half set of golf clubs, yeah, and away we go. And by the time I was around probably 9-year-old, I was playing 9 holes, and we were playing 9 holes with regularity. I just couldn't be happier, just showing off in front of my grandfather, the man that, and my dad as well, but my grandfather just showed me away, you know, just bragging and boasting every time I got out of a bunker, because he was retired from work and my dad would be working, so he'd spend a lot of time with me, come out of a bunker up and down it, and be telling my dad, and I just could not, I was just bathing in it, you know, it was really, really good. But being a boxing fighting family, me and my brother was introduced to the boxing game, and we moved the clock forward a little bit, and I was age 12, it was on a wintry night, and it was a late autumn night, actually November 1983, 12 years of age, and my grandfather says, "Here, I need a word with you." I said, "Yeah, what is it?" He said, "Now listen to me." He says, "I won't be around forever, and you must listen to my words." I said, "Yeah, grandfather, I'll listen to your words. What is it?" And he went, your future lies in golf, yeah? Your future doesn't lie in boxing. This is where your future lies, yeah? I said, "Right, grandfather, yeah, fine." He sort of put it in the memory bank. Don't want to pay too much attention, but I listened to it, always. The very next day, he makes a game of golf and he dies, collapses in my presence on the golf course whilst watching me play. And so there I was, suddenly my best mate, my grandfather, was no longer around. So in good old-fashioned English Romany Christian style, we bring back my grandfather's body before we bury him. We have 3 days with the family. We keep vigil and respect throughout the night. That's the way it's done. And just before my grandfather, you know, we could see him, he said, "Come and see your grandfather for one last time and give him that promise you want to make to him." So as a 12-year-old, I cheerfully held his hand and said, "Grandfather, I will be a golf professional one day." It still emotions me a little bit now to speak about it. So I will be a golf professional one day. Just you watch me. And we put my grandfather to rest, and I went on. I quickly then through with a membership, and I used to save up my money. My dad was a scrap metal dealer, collector. Not a rich guy, far from that, but a few quid. I never went to school, that's something I'll touch on later. And yeah, so I saving for my Dunlop set of clubs, a 3-iron, a 5-iron, 9-iron, my half set to start with, and I got them. And by the age of 13, I entered the Richmond Open. I was the best net scorer in that. By the age of 14, the following year, I was finished second in the scratch against all ages, yeah, with no handicaps and shots given. And around this time, I was asked to join a private golf club in Kingston. Yeah, and away we went, 2 practice rounds. It's a wonderful place. It was called Hampton Court, it's now called Hampton Court Place, it was called Own Park in them days. It was a links golf course, a type of links golf course, near the Thames, right near Emery Apes Palace. Beautiful, great with big trees, that was the only difference, but you look at it, it looks like a links with massive big trees, right by the Thames, the wind would blow off there, all manner of challenges. Oh, it was like heaven on earth, herds of deer around there. 2 great big practice grounds, befriending the professionals. It really was heaven on earth for me, so I was up and away and practicing my skills. What become of this was quickly, so some success had followed. I won their club championship. I'd beaten the course record. I finished tied first in the Grand Challenge Cup, it's a massive event that Jack Nicklaus won. And I won the junior under 18s, London Junior Open in 1987. Dennis Thatcher then was the Prime Minister's husband, presented me with the prize, and LWT television crew were there to film it. And and quickly after this, the BBC made a mini documentary on me from my background being a gypsy, and this really did. It set the wheels. It bred some envy to some guys out there, and they factored some lies on me, pure and utter lies, and got me through out the golf club. So I was down this track, and I just could not be happier. And suddenly I was devastated when I come out of that meeting after they factored these lies on me, and they said they no longer wanted me out the golf club. I was in tears. I was a big, strong lad. I could fight physically, but mentally, emotionally, I was just distraught, absolutely distraught and angry. And whilst I look back, and I was just a minute few that caused this problem. You know, it's a minority, not the majority. And when I look back now, I can easily see it, but then I was just full of anger. So of course, I come from a fighting family, I could fight. Before we know it, time seemed to have spun so quick, and suddenly I was out the golf club, and you couldn't go just to another golf club then. Seriously, you needed to be proposed, second, introduced, and then if they leave the background throughout my previous golf club, you couldn't get into another one. So I was playing a little bit on the council golf courses here and there, but I was angry and I was fighting suddenly, and then suddenly I was getting good at the fighting. Before you knew it, I'd beaten some really good fighters with reputation. This is where the real problem happens. You get then people start massaging your ego, and the wrong crowd want to be around you, because they want to be around you because you're a tough guy, not because you're a nice guy. They want to be around you. So then comes this, you're in all sorts of wrong crowds, and criminality come, and eventually I lay in a prison cell awaiting a trial and remand. And I lay back and I think, what's ahead? What could have been? This anger's still burning, yeah? And anyway, we move forward. I'm lucky enough, I get off the case, not because I'm not guilty. I get off the case because there's insufficient evidence, but it's only a matter of time that the authorities get it right, or it's only a matter of time they'll get caught up in another violent altercation, or what we call firms and gangs. It's just a different form of what we're seeing on the streets today, but he's no different. There were weapons, there were violence, and it happened so quick. And out of the blue, a friend of mine, Alan Jarrett, black guy, actually also from ethnic minority, he says to my dad, "Where is Joe? I'm going to turn golf professional. I'm going, does Joe want to come with me?" So my dad gets in touch. My dad knew my game wasn't in shape, but my dad, being a loving dad, he sees this is a better alternative, a much better alternative. And he asked, "Do I want to turn professional?" And when I said, "Okay, yeah," he talks me into it. Bless him, and he saves his money, and he's far from a rich guy, and he saves the money to send me abroad to play and all this. And whilst my game weren't up to scratch, the thing was then, when you finish, you can't go back as an amateur for 2 years. So here's my story. So I didn't qualify for this tour, but I stayed on as a professional, knocking around other tours. But all of a sudden, the freedom, it's like somebody had lifted something from me. I'm now knocking around back in green fields. I'm not fighting in car parks, disused warehouses, scrapyards, gypsy sites, up streets, in pubs. I'm now suddenly meeting people that are saying, "Hello, good shot," or "I think I can help you with your golf game. I know why you're missing putts, or you're not chipping well, or you're hitting your ball left." And these are gentlemen of all different backgrounds. Don't necessarily talk posh, don't necessarily speak like they're from the streets, they don't speak anything. They're all a variation of different people with one thing in mind: they love this game of golf. So now this game of golf, I'm just a totally different man. I've shunned that life behind me. I then meet a beautiful wife, a beautiful loving wife, yeah. So the story just goes on. I then stay as a golf professional. I become world ranked. Then when I've become world ranked and made my first check, I'll see my grandfather's dream through. I might not have hit the dizzy heights that I maybe had dreamed of. You know, that's either here or there. I'm not going to go backwards bit, I'm going to go back forward, because I've had the most wonderful life. Wonderful life. And when I compare that to that, my God, are they a long, long way apart. Now it's here where I want to introduce this to children that are young enough to get them straight into the game, not to take that road, but also want to give the opportunity to the ones who take the dodgy road. Yeah, there's still time, because I've done both. I had a great start, the dodgy road. Okay, I was mistreated, no doubt about that, but Tiger Woods have tore down those barriers, and Gypsy Joe will remain to tear down the rest, and Tiger and people are like the other little ones that are there, a few barriers, will tear them down the right way. They're not going to be involved in my journey, my quest to help others, right? So, colour, creed, gender, none of this. Age, size, this game doesn't have any barriers like that. We're just going out there. And this is my dream. But I need help, and I'm going to explain that. But I want to give back. So I'm a charitable guy, and I sit on a couple of charity boards as we stand. But it was a recent trip, another fantastic trip in PGA Catalunya in Barcelona, where I met some guy that I knew, but I didn't know him in depth. I see him around at tournaments, and we had a lovely evening together. And he prompted an idea, and this idea is, he also wanted to give back. And I said, right, and when he mentioned it, you know, I can now see the transformation I can really have. So now he's planted the seeds, and now I've got the bit between the teeth, and I want to run with this. Yeah, so of course I want to do this in a big way. So I'm going to be shouting out for some help. You know, I need a film crew on side, I need a marketer, I need a business developer. I can't do it all on my own, but I really want to get my overalls on and get out there. And I want to teach these kids. I want to use my mouth, my words, yeah, other inspirational stories as to where that road, that bumpy, bad, rough road, yeah, and this road, the fairway one, that's the one we need to take. So the simple answer to this, if we can get in there, say example now, I'll give you one example, where with a couple of kids from a broken family, yeah, let's say it's a boy and a girl, we use example, and finances are not there for this sport, understandably so, times are tough. We drive ourselves in there, we talk to these children, we get them equipment, we get them clubs, we teach them golf, we let them hit balls, and then we go in connection with the local golf club. Yeah, and we fund and sort their membership out. And there we go. We can send them children out there, yeah, in a place where it's safe to play, yeah. Junior organisers, other juniors, other adults, just going in a members golf club, just drifting on out there and let them pick up those skills. If they don't have the academics at school, you meet people, yeah. How many successful careers, you know, I can look myself, I never went to school, and I'll come back to that in a minute, but how many successful careers are, example, what you're interested in, I'm not bad at numbers at school, and then you play golf with the accountant who's looking for an assistant, yeah? 12 years later, the accountant retires, you take over the company. This is the type of stuff that can and does and will happen in this wonderful sport. But it won't happen out there on the streets. Our kids don't have the opportunity. We know there's other sports out there, but this is the most genteel of games. We know it's a very tough game to master, but how many sports where do you have to take your cap off and tuck your shirt in and play this honour, this integrity, how you're trusted to look after your own golf ball over there 60, 70 yards away, when we have other sports where people fall down and pretend to die. This is the great thing about our game. This is the wonderful thing about our game, and there are people out there willing to help. So this is where we want to drive it. So we want to get it initially in there, and then we want these kids that are involved with games, we want to get them out of that stuff, and we want to get them into this, get them up the road. Yeah, instead of them spending time on street corners, we want them at the golf course summer nights or half 9, 10 o'clock, so the parents know exactly where they're at, exactly what they're doing. When they get back, they're so tired and excited, they can't wait to do it all over again. Yeah, we want to work with institutes, work for them, for the guilty, misbehaved youth, you know, who want to repair themselves. Yeah, so we might be working with a probation officer or an offenders institute. These are the stuff I want to get off there. Get in there. We play this sport where disabilities, there's 82,000 people currently from the 1 million people disabled in this country play golf, it's 4%. We want to improve that. We want to grow the game. Now grow the game, I want to call in the likes of England Golf, the RNA, the PGA, yes, and the DP World Tour. Now if you look at all of these bodies, yeah, they're all set wonderful standards. The RNA set the rules and the etiquette and all the other bits that go with it. They monitor our game. England Golf in there, they're setting their standards for wannabe professionals. Players of all abilities, of course, yeah. And of course, we could set our sights on being if you're not good enough to be a tournament professional, there's plenty of positions to learn the game and learn the skills to be a PGA professional and get paid for it and have a wonderful life that way. And of course, we've got the DP World Tour where you could We will have champions, 100%. We're not saying that the moral of this story is about being champions, but you know, we can get champions through this route as well. Trust me. Give a kid an opportunity and he might well take it. Give them no opportunity, they'll never take it, will they? They ain't one to take. So come on, anybody out there with business developing skills, yeah, marketing skills, and a film crew skills. Maybe 3 or 4 piece film crew. Get me out there, let's get this Kushti golf going. Let's get these boys straight onto the fairway of life and out of that rough life, yeah? Let's drag them out of the rough life, let's get them straight on that fairway. Just imagine how many lives we could save. It needs addressing, we know that as a nation, there's no dispute that, yeah? And out these kids live a dream like I have lived. Here's my story. Can somebody else live that wonderful life like me? Yeah? I didn't go to school. I have a grade in maths and read and write. I run a business. I employ 7 staff. I have a lovely wife, family and grandchildren. Yeah, I've travelled over 30 countries. I was a European father-son golf champion. Yeah, I didn't even have to give up on my other sport. My boxing come back and I've done it all legally. I've become a champion at the age of 32 and I've done it again at 52. Yeah, I've done it with under rules. So if you guys are keen on football and you love golf, we can still do other sports, you can go back to them, yeah, but we just want to get them kids out and this game keeps on giving. Keeps on this for all ages. I'll give you one more inspirational story. It's such good for our health, you know, we've got to remember that. But we're just walking several miles, burning calories, you know, it's a wonderful, wonderful way, healthy way of life, yeah, breathing in fresh air. But the game keeps giving. One example, I'll give you, I played in Poland 2 years ago, and it's done on seeding. After my first round, I shot 3 over par, 73. And I'm like, you know, it's not a terrible bad round, championship golf course, foreign countries, tournament pressure, I'm 3 over. And I tee up with this guy who played in 4 balls, we're seeded on scores, and I'm thinking, hey, this guy looks a bit old. He looks like he's, I wasn't nervous, he's shot, you know. Anyway, so I go over this lovely gentleman with a beautiful golf swing. His name was Errol Mills from South Africa. So I said, oh Errol, you've got a lovely golf swing there. Yeah, mate, I'm a few years now under my belt. So yeah, Errol, how old is he? I'm 78 years of age and he shot 77 on the golf course. So we come back in, we had a drink, me and Errol, and I said, Errol, you're an inspiration. And he, why should I be an inspiration to you? I said, because I thought my years of competitive golf was running out. And I see you still really competing at the highest level in the over 65 section, yeah? Right, actually beating some in the over 50 section. That's my inspiration. So you can see the game, it just keeps on giving. So let's get them kids into that game, into that life where it keeps on giving. But I need your help. Anybody out there, please help me. Thank you very much for listening. And let's make golf Kushti golf, out of the rough, onto the fairway. Thank you.